everybody, it's David Scarpetta, and welcome back. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm an online marketer, business developer, and entrepreneur. And today, we're going to answer a few questions, or actually give you some suggestions, because we had this question a few times from people as young as like 15 years old, all the way up to like 55, 60 years old. So we're going to answer the question, how to become an entrepreneur. The 5 laws. The first law. Okay, do not accept mediocre or mediocrity at its finest. So don't accept mediocrities. And then what that means is that whatever you think you're doing that is the best, your concept of the best, it could always be better. There's always room for improvement. And a lot of people, if you're one of those people, and I understand not everybody is like this. Not, some people they work their 9 to 5s and they're used to doing like a set schedule to a set schedule. If you're a set schedule guy, then this video you should probably fast forward to the end and listen to the cool music, because you're not going to be an entrepreneur. You cannot go according to those rules. The 9 to 5 does not exist for the entrepreneur. Okay, that's a mediocre scenario. That's a consistency. There is no consistency with being an entrepreneur. You need to be above and beyond. You need to shoot for the stars. You need to look across the galaxy and shoot for the stars, and then you need to work just as hard for that. Whether it be, 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day, 14 hours a day. And that's not to say that eventually you could scale back or scale more and control your schedules in some way. But ultimately, no matter what you do, if you're just okay with it, and you feel inside that you're okay, and if people who've out there who've had jobs and are just like, oh, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. That's not okay if you're going to be an entrepreneur. It's just not. So if you want to be a successful and good entrepreneur, you have to make sure that you are not satisfied with mediocrity, and that your ordinary everyday hustle becomes a super hustle. It's like you power up like a video game character, like, and you just take it to the next level, okay? The second law of being an effective and good entrepreneur, and that, my friends, is where you roll the dice. That's right. If you're a gambling man or woman, right? If you're a gambling man or woman, then being an entrepreneur is something that may be up your alley. You need, and the reason we call gambling, it's metaphorically like that, right? So it's like, well, we're going to gamble because you're taking a chance, you're taking a risk. You're putting your money on the table, whether it be your money or your time, and you're putting it on the table, and you're saying, this is what I'm going to try to do. Win, lose, or draw. It doesn't mean whether you win it, you lose, you break even. No matter what the case is, you're going to do that. And that, my friends, is taking a risk, okay? Some risks are a little more calculated than others. Other risks are a little bit more, risky, for lack of a better term. Whatever it is, you have to understand that you have to be comfortable, or maybe more so uncomfortable with those risks. You have to be able to have a mindset and tell yourself, hey, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all the way with this. And if it doesn't work out at the end of the day and I have to start from the bottom, then that's the way it is. Because it doesn't feel so bad, right? When if you go to the gambling table, if you go to Vegas or Atlantic City or Macau, wherever you're going, to gamble, if you go into your friend's house to play an illegal card game, whatever the case may be, if you're doing that and you are, you go in with the mindset like, I have these resources here, I'm going to take them, and I'm going to go in there with the best attitude, and if I lose, I lose, and I win, it's that much better. The third law of how to become an effective entrepreneur. This is a really big one, folks. Okay, and this goes for people of all ages, because sometimes this gets skewed. If you're a certain age and I'm older but I'm younger, you have to be a good communicator. You have to be a good communicator, a good networker. Essentially, if you're a good communicator, you become a good networker. So if you can communicate effectively, if you're not good at communication, and not everybody's great at communication. Some people are good on certain levels of communication. Other people get disjointed or get angry or frustrated. there's a lot of variables. You can create better communication. And actually, if you watch our videos and other videos, you'll see that we talk about communication skills and listening skills. And that's the other thing I'm going to talk about also is you have to be not only a good communicator, but being a good communicator also, and this is a bonus, you get the bonus one in here, right? We're just going to give you the extra, is that you need to be also a good listener. Because if you're not a good listener, then you cannot be effectively communicating, because then you're just talking, you're talking and talking and talking. You're not absorbing anything back from the other person, all right? Another, whether it be a teammate, a partner, a potential investor, whatever the case may be. If you're not getting that back, okay, that is not good communication. You may think just because you're talking, just because you talk a lot and you know a lot of people, does not make you an effective entrepreneur or an effective communicator. But understanding those needs and listening and formulating a proper response, a good entrepreneurial response, is what's going to separate you from everyone else. The fourth law of becoming an effective entrepreneur: holding yourself accountable. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean you're good with numbers? Well, it could be. It could be. It's if you think of accounting and you think of numerous scenarios, you need to hold yourself accountable. And what that means is that as an entrepreneur, you cannot push the blame game on people, okay? So in other words, if you are in the saddle and you fall off your horse, you need to say, oh shit, I fell off my horse, it's my fault. Let me get back on my horse. So you're not going to blame the wind. You're not going to blame the weather. The horse is sweating. It was too hot outside. The saddle fell off sideways. You were drunk the night before. You had too much haggis, and you needed to, recover, so to speak. And then you were drowsy. I mean, we're all human, right? All these things happen. However, you need to be accountable, and you need to understand that these outcomes are because you are making them happen that way. So if you have to refine the processes, you need to be accountable at all levels. Great people who have started very large companies understand, and I mean, before they become very large, they had to be accountable for everything. They had to be accountable for customer service, sales, technology, team leadership, communication, finding, securing investment. There's just so much that goes into, you have to wear the hat at all levels. There's a lot of people that think that even if your company becomes very large and you scale and you scale and you scale and you scale, and that magically the business owners or the corporate leaders, if you will, right, aren't involved in the day-to-day operations, right? But a good business owner and person, involved in their business, an entrepreneur, will actually invest the time to go down right to the most granular portion of the business, as so far down as being, working in the location, seeing what the problems are in that location, in that retail store or in that online team, whatever the case may have you. This is the most important thing, is being accountable. And the fifth and final law, and these are golden. These are the most bare bones minimum that you need to do to become an entrepreneur at any age, right? Is that you need to continue to learn and take criticism. Some people can't take criticism. Now, we're not talking about insults, we're talking about criticism. And sometimes they may be skewed, the two. It's like, well, you're insulting me. But not necessarily. Sometimes it's the perception is the reality of the situation. So you really need to be able to take a seat in your chair and say, if your teammates are coming to you, if your employees are coming to you, if your partners are coming to you, and they're saying something and saying, hey, listen, I don't like the way this is. I don't feel comfortable, or I don't like this, or I think we could do better. I think there's a certain way that we could work around this and enhance this. So the communication, so again, it lines up. And if you're an effective communicator, you'll get back responses and you'll get back criticisms. So really, really, the most important thing is to actually, take criticism. Take that criticism and don't get personally hurt, because I mean, you took all this risk, right? And you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get butt hurt because somebody doesn't like something. And if they may have a valid issue, so you take that and then you evaluate that and you try to, you don't even have to respond then and there. You could take that and soak it in and actually formulate a good non-emotional response to the criticism or address it in team meetings. Okay, and you also have to be, again, this comes hand in hand, the criticism is being willing to continue to learn. And you actually learn from those criticisms. There's a lot of things that even at my age that I learned from both younger people and I learned from older people. And that's a really big thing too, because a lot of times sometimes older people think that, well, they've been around the block and that guy doesn't know anything. He's a young whippersnapper. I don't even know what a whippersnapper is. I mean, if you could tell me, that'd be great. But the thing is that they hold like a prejudice against either age or sex or the type of business you've been in. Again, if you're an effective entrepreneur, you need to be able to take criticism and you need to be able to continue to learn from everyone around you. All right, everybody. Well, thank you again for watching my 5 laws on how to become an effective entrepreneur. Again, my name is David Scarpetta, and if you guys are looking to build businesses, looking to build success, looking to build wealth, health, and your knowledge, don't forget to check us out at my blog. You'll be able to find links in the video description, or you can go to davidscarpetta.com. Also, don't forget, do me a favor, if you find this informative and you want to spread the good word to your friends and your family about creating business and creating something with you, feel free to share this video and subscribe. And it's just a press of a button and we'll be able to send you great videos on how to improve everything that you do. Okay? Well, thank you so much for watching. Continue to watch us. If you have any questions, put them in the comments box or send me a message. I actually do reply to messages at times when I have a hot few minutes. So again, thank you so much for watching and have some great success. Talk to you guys soon.